Oh yeah. I don't think I've ever gone live on Instagram, or if I have, I don't remember doing it from my desktop. So pretty excited about that. We are live on YouTube and on Facebook. So anyways, I wanted to fuck around with live on Instagram. So here I was asked the question of what are the best pre-workout meals and snacks for energy. You know, let's backtrack it a little bit, and how early or how close to working out can I eat? You want to get accustomed to eating at least within 2 to 3 hours of training. If you're someone who wakes up in the morning and trains early, you could do the protein shake, then work out, and then eat after. So work out fasted, which is fine as well. You could also wake up at 5 a.m., have a light snack, because that's a good one to have, is eating lightly prior to the workout. But really in the middle of the day, or if you're a competitive athlete, getting better at eating, digesting, and training, and knowing how that works and what works best for you is the name of the game. At a high level, whether you're a cyclist, a marathon runner, or a CrossFitter, like whatever you're doing, a soccer player, football player, it's all going to come down to your ability to keep energy, keep fluids, keep fueled while inside of training and while inside of competition. So that's a layer. But for the general population, really just working on eating prior to, and looking at maybe some lighter foods, balanced with carbohydrates, balanced with some carbohydrates for energy, protein for some muscle support, and maybe some small fats to keep the sensation of hunger down. It would help with that. Some examples would be like banana and some nut butter, or Greek yogurt and some berries, or like a parfait, right? So Greek yogurt, berries, and some whole grain or granola, protein granola as well, some Trader Joe's protein granola, or like even a whole toast with like a Dave's toast with some avocado on it. That will all work as well. The other one that I would look into is pre-workout or during workout supplements. Beta-Alanine works really well. D-Ribose, BCAAs, creatine, Crealkaline, glutamine, L-Glutamine. There's so much stuff that you could start adding in to support your hydration as well, with some electrolytes, and then understanding the difference between taking in sugars and electrolytes based off of what you're trying to do. And some guys that are doing like longer conditioning, you got to stay away from those liquid carbs or the crappy carbs, because you might just need to have some weight loss. And inside that, you just can't supplement it. Got to have a little bit of a bonk of energy and deal with that to get a little bit of benefit later. Understanding why you're feeling that way, why you're suffering through the training that way, and what does that look like for you in the long term, especially you guys that are on a bike and you need to come down in size because you're too big on that bike. That's a painful process. That's a very painful process. So again, getting food around training is crucial. Getting somewhere around 60 to 70% of your caloric intake around training is huge, especially if you're training multiple times a day. Looking at some like soft and light stuff to eat. I've even known some cyclists that used to eat like a Hawaiian roll with Philadelphia cheese on it, right? So they called it what did they call that? It was pretty nasty, very Euro, but Philly sandwich, I think it was what they called it. But anyway, so looking at some fats, some proteins to sustain muscle, carbohydrates for energy, looking at what kinds of it, and then also to some pre and post supplements. But right now we're just talking about pre-supplements. Careful with the caffeine. I like caffeine pre-workout, but understanding that that's a stimulant. It's going to raise my heart rate. If it raises my heart rate and I'm in a heart rate based training program, just be prepared for it to spike. So careful with how much caffeine is inside of your pre-workout. I like pre-workouts with no caffeine, and then I just take in coffee prior to, or espresso, if you will. But that's my style. Everybody's different. Some people really like to be jacked up on some pre-workout, and there's nothing wrong with that, just as long as you understand why your heart's inside of your throat. So, all right. Hopefully that answered your question. Eat regularly, train hard, and enjoy.